My name is Zahia Khan, and I am 30 years old. I was born in the Solomon Islands, in a town called Honiara.
Okay.
That's in the Pacific Ocean, South Pacific Ocean.
Okay. And when did you come to America?
I've been here like all my life. I came here before I turned even a year old.
Okay. So you really don't remember too much of your culture background?
Well, I don't remember anything about the Solomon Islands. I haven't been there since I came to America. My parents have been, and one of my siblings has, but I myself haven't had the chance to go there yet.
What do you like to do for fun?
For fun, I love art. I'm a henna artist. I've been doing henna since I was as young as 11, 12 years old. It's something that I grew up with, but I started doing it myself around that age. My dad's from the Fiji Islands, so he's Fijian Indian, and it's in the culture. We get it done. Usually I remember getting it done mostly around Eid, which is a Muslim holiday, and also for like special occasions like henna parties for a wedding.
Okay, so is that what sparked your interest with it when you used to see it as a kid?
Yeah, that's how I got introduced to it. Is from seeing it done at like weddings, at family gatherings.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so I was born on the Solomon Islands.
Yeah.
My dad's from the Fiji Islands.
Okay.
And my mom is from the Solomon Islands, but originally from the Kiribati Islands. These are all islands in the Pacific.
Okay. So what would you say is like the pros of growing up multiracial?
The pros? There's a lot of pros. I grew up, it was fun. I grew up with two totally different cultures. Even though they're both found in the Pacific Ocean, where my mom's from and where my dad's from, there's a lot of different things going on. The language is different. My mom's side of the family is Christian, and my dad's side is Muslim. And the food is different, the clothes is different, like I said, the language is different. So it was fun learning and just being exposed to the variety of food and the clothes. I would say that's the best part. That's a pro about being raised in a multicultural family.
Okay, and what would you say are some of the cons of growing up multiracial, if there is any?
Yeah, I can't think of anything. Well, actually, I can. There was, for whatever reason, my parents, both of them, they didn't teach me their language. So it was the only language I speak is English.
Okay.
So I guess it was because the common language between my parents was English. So that's what they spoke to each other. That's what I grew up hearing. But when I would go to like my mom's side of the family, and there was like the elderlies who didn't speak English, they only spoke the native language, I couldn't communicate with them. So that's something that I feel like if both my parents knew the same language besides English, like say my dad was Fijian and my mom was Fijian, maybe they would have been speaking the same Fijian language, and then I could have grew up learning that.
Right.
But it wasn't like that. I was exposed to so many, like my dad knows like 3 languages, my mom knows 3 as well, English and 2 of her native languages. So I feel like maybe, I don't want to use this as an excuse, but it was just overwhelming for me to learn all these languages. So I guess it was easier for me to learn English.
Yeah.
So the con with that is like going to weddings, even on my dad's side, or my mom's side, and not being able to communicate with them.
Okay, with the elderly who don't
Usually the elderly, yeah. But even people who are like my age, they're still, they got to learn the language, and I didn't. So it's something I felt like left out.
Okay. So you mentioned that your mom's side of the family is Christian, so you were exposed to two different religions, Islam and Christianity. So how was that for you growing up?
Yeah, for the most part I was. My dad is Muslim, and my mom, when she married my dad, she didn't become Muslim. But after learning about Islam, she, on her own, became Muslim herself. So I was raised Muslim in the house. So now that the whole family is Muslim, I wasn't exposed to too much Christianity, but then I still have my mom's side.
Mm-hmm.
So we still talk, and they accept us for who we are.
Mm-hmm.
And there's usually not too much going on when it comes to the two having to like mix in or any issues. There's no issues with it.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the way I dress. I didn't always dress like this, wearing the veil. Before, I didn't wear anything, whether it was a headscarf or the veil.
Mm-hmm.
But even when I started wearing the headscarf, of course my dad's side of the family, they are used to it because they're Muslim, but my mom's side, it was not a big deal to them.
Mm-hmm.
I was still the same Zahia, and even after wearing my veil, even though there was some concerns living in America wearing it, they still supported me, both sides of the family.
So what is the meaning behind covering up in Islam?
I think for me, it's an act of worship. I do this only for God. And after wearing it, I've realized there's like so many benefits to it. Dressing modestly is something that allows people I have control over what I wear, and that's the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
I choose to wear this. I think there's a lot of misconceptions that maybe my husband makes me wear this, or my dad makes me wear this. There is no male influence in what I'm wearing or why I wear it.
Mm-hmm.
I wear this so that I feel like people can judge me for what's in here and what's in here, what I have to also give to society, not just my looks. Especially, I feel like it's a little strange for a lot of people, and that's something that I guess I can understand, because we're in the West. It's like you're so, I guess, obsessed with fashion,
Right.
and how someone looks,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have to worry about that, and I feel good about the way I dress, because people judge me for who I am,
Right.
My personality, and not how I look, my sexuality.
So you mentioned that you didn't always wear niqab or hijab. What age did you start wearing it, and why?
I was reading, I think it was middle school. It was middle school. I was just doing my own reading about Islam. And after reading about why Muslim women cover and reading about the hijab, that's when I started to wear the scarf. So I think it was in middle school. I think it was 8th grade. And then for the veil, I remember reading a book about Islam, and it had to do with the women of Islam when Islam was first, about 1,400 years ago. And this is what they wore. So that's what caught my interest.
Mm-hmm.
And after doing more research, that's when I started wearing it. So I started wearing the veil. It's going to be about 8 years.
Okay. So about 2008?
Yes.
Okay. How do you feel about people who think wearing niqab is a form of oppression?
Oppression. I think it's just a whole bunch of misunderstanding and misconceptions, and also ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people these days are getting their only dose of what Islam is through the media.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually, if not always, negative. And so, like I mentioned before, I don't feel oppressed. This is something that I always have to feel like I have to tell people, this is my choice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to add that it feels really good that someone is asking me if I'm oppressed or why I wear it, because usually people that already have their ideas about the way I dress, it's usually something like I was forced to wear it, or I'm not happy about wearing it. If I wanted to today, I could take it off.
Right.
I've always been the type of person. I've lived a life where I didn't wear it and where I did wear it, and I've experienced both.
Okay.
And I wouldn't change the way I dress for anything unless it was for the safety of my life.
Okay. And with that being said, do you see a difference now in how you're treated in public as opposed to before you started wearing niqab?
Yeah. Thank God I live in the Bay Area. It's so diverse. I feel like being here is a blessing because I feel like a lot more people are open-minded or exposed to different cultures, races, religions. But I have definitely experienced people giving me mean looks, disgusted looks. People have said something to me. Things like, "This is America, why are you wearing that?" Which my answer is, I know it's America, that's why I'm wearing it, because I have the freedom to wear what I wish to wear and the freedom to practice my religion. But like I said, I guess a lot of influence has to do with the media. So, but...
Is there any like specific example or memory that comes to mind with that question?
Like negative experiences?
Or just any experience in general
about how people
of
treated me?
Differences between the two?
I've had both good and bad. The last good one that I can remember was kind of funny. I was in a very crowded place, and I think it was some type of parade or something, and it was getting really crowded, and people started hopping over a small fence to get to the other side. It was a really short fence, but when it was my turn to jump over it, there was a guy that noticed me, and he was like, "Everybody make way, let her jump over." And I thought it was kind of weird. It was like, everybody else is jumping over. Why did he make people clear the way so that I can jump over? But obviously it was because, for whatever reason, there was that respect or just that extra that he gave me so that I could jump over it. So that was like, I thought it was weird and funny. But I realized the only reason why he did that was because of the way I look.
Right. Do you feel that people judge you before getting to know you?
Yeah, I think that people already feel like they know sometimes too much about me. I feel like for example, if I talk to somebody, they feel like I don't know English.
Oh my
God. As soon as I talk to them, I remember a woman, I was wearing a decorated scarf, and she goes, "Your scarf is lovely." And I go, "Thank you." And then I started talking about the scarf. I forgot what I was saying. And then she said to me, "Wow, your English is so good." So I felt like, you know what I mean? She
assumed.
She already assumed
right.
a lot about me. One being that. And then sometimes, like when I was going to college, even some of my teachers, they'd be like, "Oh, so you were pretty much raised here." So even though and that was like towards the end, and that was just one teacher I'm remembering, and she's awesome, but I mean, she still had that presumption that I was not, because of the way I'm dressed. I'm guessing it's because of the way I'm dressed. She thought that I wasn't raised here. Some people think that I don't know English. So I guess they automatically they judge me. They think that I'm a foreigner.
Do you find it challenging wearing hijab or niqab? If so, what are some of the challenges that you're facing?
I think I feel like there's only challenges because of where I'm at. Like I said, I love wearing niqab. It's my choice. But at the same time, being here, I feel like there are some things that makes it a little harder compared to some Muslim countries that I notice when when women are wearing the niqab and they live there, they have it easier.
Right.
It's not necessarily that I'm living a hard life here, because I'm totally fine. I'm happy. I get to do almost everything. The only thing that I can't do is eat an ice cream cone underneath my niqab, because it'll get my niqab on me. But I can eat. I hike. People are surprised that I can ride a bike. My husband was used to skateboard. He taught me how to skateboard. I could skateboard on ramps. There's a lot of things that people think that because I'm wearing a dress, I guess you could say, and also a veil, they think that I can't do a lot of stuff, but that's not true at all.
So you don't feel restricted?
I don't feel restricted at all. It hasn't hindered me in any way besides the ice cream. So now I have to eat ice cream with a cup and a spoon. I miss those cones. But other than that, no, I don't think so. However, I do feel a little scared getting back into... I've been to college, university, and I've had no issues at all. One of my majors is early childhood development, and so I've been in preschools, and I've worked my way around that. Like the first week, I would introduce the niqab to the children and explain it a little bit, and automatically they'd get used to me, and they'll be totally fine with it. They're not scared or anything. But I haven't... My son is only 2, and when he gets a little older, I want to finish school, and then, of course, I want to start working. So that's the only thing that I have not experienced yet.
Okay.
Fully. And I do have friends that wear niqab, and they do get hired. Okay. But usually it's jobs that are not like, well, that brings up a whole another can of worms. So, for example, if I wanted to be a doctor or a nurse, I'm allowed to take it off because my patients have the right to see who is taking care of them. So sometimes people think, oh, she can't work, but no, there are times where I can take it out. Like when I get pulled over by a cop, like I remember one of my taillights went out and I got pulled over, I show my ID and I lift it up. When I go to the bank, when they have to see my identification, I lift my veil up. It's not that I never take it off, but for the most part, I do wear it in public. But when it's time to take it off, I take it off. So it hasn't hindered me. No, it's something that I've been able to work with, but I do have concern in the future, and I hope that it's not going to be an issue where somebody is going to think that I can't work as well as another person simply because I have a piece of cloth over my face.
Okay. So how many hours a day would you say that you do wear it?
Well, since I am not working right now, I'm a stay-at-home mom for my son. I'm usually home, so I don't wear it that often, but I do go out every weekend with my family, and I wear it all day when I'm out.
So is there a specific group of people that you can wear it around and can't wear it around?
Yes, we call those the non-mahrams. The non-mahrams are people who are I have to wear it in front of those people, and these are people like men. It's always men, and it's men that are not, for example, my grandparents, my uncles, my brothers, people who are family and close to me, like my husband, my son, if I had any stepsons or anything, I don't have to wear it in front of them. But the non-mahrams, I do have to wear it, and those are men that I don't even know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel that niqab will affect your career in any way?
I hope not. Like I said, I'm majoring in business and early childhood development, and so far I have not had any issues. I worked as a receptionist before, wearing the veil, and I worked at a sign company.
How is it wearing the veil at work at your past jobs?
There hasn't been any differences. There's not a job that I've taken so far, such as like a receptionist, or I worked at a sign company. I love doing like work with my hands, so I used to work at a sign company, and we do a lot of table work, and I dealt with customers, and I haven't had any bad experiences. And wearing the veil and wearing modest clothes hasn't made my work less, manageable.
Okay. Do you feel your safety being threatened at all?
I do. Especially, it's like, I dread watching the news and there's like, for example, like a bombing somewhere or something, and then they're saying they're talking about Muslims or Islam. I have nothing to do with that. I condemn those attacks. But I feel like, how am I supposed to tell people that if they're gonna judge me like by just the way I look?
Right.
So it is scary. I do fear for my safety. There was like the last incident, my mom and my husband were telling me like, try not to go out, you know, so it does affect my life.
Yeah.
And I do fear for my safety. Thank God I haven't experienced any physical attacks. Verbally, looks, yes, I have. And that's something that I can deal with, because I'd rather, you know, I still wish to wear what I want to wear, and I'm going to fight for that. I want to wear what I want to wear. But if I felt like there was somebody that was out to get me, or if I knew that my safety, especially with my son, because I bring my son places too, if I feared for my safety, then I feel like I would have to be forced to not dress the way I am. But thank God it hasn't come to that point, and I hope it never does.
Where would you say you feel the most accepted?
Accepted? Mm-hmm. Here in the Bay Area. Yeah. I'm so happy to be living here. I don't want to move out. I mean, I've taken road trips where I stayed places, or taken trips where I stayed places for like a week or more. And I feel like the most safest places would be here in the Bay Area and also New York. I've stayed in Brooklyn. And I feel like the diversity helps, because people are not, it's not totally strange or new to people, you know? It's like they've seen Muslim woman cover. Mm-hmm. So I feel like here in the Bay Area,
okay,
it's the perfect place.
And where would you say you feel the least accepted?
I've never been to a place that I felt like that before. I've been to places where it's like a small town, and it's usually like, you know, one race there, and it's not diverse. But still, I haven't had like a terrible experience. But so far, no, I haven't been anywhere where I felt unsafe.
Okay. And how does it feel being Muslim after 9/11?
It was hard, especially right after. At that time, after 9/11, I was only wearing the hijab. And that was the only time, actually, that I was not physically hit or anything, but one of the other students went behind me and he tried to pull my scarf off. So, and after that, there was other students around me who were like, they jumped in and they're like, what are you doing? You can't touch her. I had a guy like defend me, like he, you know, he was arguing with the guy who tried to pull the scarf off. So,
what grade was this in?
This was in, I think it was junior year.
Of high school?
Of high school.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when this happened. And, so that's
the only experience.
That's the only experience that I can remember.
Okay. So have you been following the presidential election at all?
Yeah.
Okay. And what are your thoughts on Donald Trump's comments towards Muslims?
I think they're totally ignorant. I think they're false. I think that some of the stuff he says is also racist. I'm married to a Mexican. He's a Mexican Muslim. And he too has issues with the things that he has to say. I do feel like that what he's spewing to the media is also causing, like I said, after 9/11 I had problems. After some of the stuff that happened with the terrorist attacks, I've had issues. And now with what he has to say, I do feel like that has affected the way I have to be more careful when I go out. Because I feel like it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And I feel like he's not helping with the situation.